My dear, elegant, sophisticated, dedicated teachers, welcome to Publications webinar, Topic-Based Teaching in Primary Classroom. This webinar will be delivered to you by Anna Guess. I'm Publications Facility Consultant in Ukraine. And if you are new to our webinar, please follow us on our Facebook page, Publications Ukraine, where you can find out more about us, our activities in Ukraine. Before we start, I'd like you to check the sound. Can you hear me well? Please write your answers in the question box. I'd like to remind you that we do not have chat, we have question box. So hello everyone, can you hear me well? All right. Can you see the information on the slide? Please write your answers in the question box. Excellent. So we have good internet connection. So from our side, everything works well. And if you have any problems with the connection, please check it. Check the speakers at your computer, on your computer. So, all right. If you can see the information on the slides and you can hear me well, I believe that we shall start. Before we start, I'd like to thank you for sending me thank you letters after the webinar. We appreciate it a lot, and your feedback motivates me to work harder and harder in order to maintain the high standards of my work. So thank you, my dear teachers. Thank you for your support and encouragement. It really helps, and I feel your support every single day. Thank you. You are a lovely audience to work with. And to set the tone of today's webinar, I'd like to greet you with the coming holiday, Happy Women's Day. So on the occasion of Happy Women's Day, and on behalf of the Linguist Company and Publications, I'd like to greet you with this holiday, and I wish you happiness, wealth, success, everything that you would like to have in your life. So be the happiest woman in the world, today, tomorrow, and always. We understand that you need the certificate after the webinar. Please check your email as well as your spam after the webinar. You will receive a link where you can download your certificate. Again, I'd like to emphasize that we do not send these certificates by ourselves. The webinar platform sends it automatically after the webinar. So within a few hours, you will receive this certificate. And one more thing that I'd like to mention is that please register for our webinars from any emails except Ukrnet. We are currently working on this problem, so teachers who use Ukrnet, they do not receive the certificates, unfortunately. So if you happen to have this problem, please let me know, and I will be happy to send you the certificate. Please follow us on our Facebook page, Publications Ukraine. We usually post useful resources that you can download and use in your classroom. They are free of charge. We have idioms of the month, we have quotations of the month, word of the month, articles for teachers, and we usually announce about our seminars and webinars in Ukraine. And we have announced our new contest. If you're interested, please stay with us. If you're searching for extra materials to supplement your lesson, please visit our Facebook page, Publications Ukraine, or the Linguist website. We usually post these materials there too. So you will receive flower idioms and English grammar in primary school, a nightmare or great fun. So we will post them soon. Please use these materials in your classroom, and we really want to be helpful. It has become a tradition to start the webinar with the question to the audience. My question to you is, how old are young learners? Today we're going to talk about topic-based learning in primary school. So we will be talking about teaching young learners. So how old are young learners? Can you write your answer in the question box? How old are they? I'm waiting for your answers. 6, 7, 8 years. Thank you, Oksana. 6 to 10, thank you. 4 to 10, thank you, Lena. Any answer? Suggestions? From 5 to 9. All right, thank you, Victoria. Till 10 years old, thank you, Ludmila. So we have different answers. Oh, we have from 6 to 12. Thank you, Helen. Okay, thank you. Thank you for taking your time to answer my question. So we call students between the ages of 3 to 11 young learners. And let's say 8-year-old child has certain characteristics which are different from a 10-year-old child. And we need to understand these differences if we want to know how to teach children at different ages. And what development stage they are at. A lot will depend on the age of the children and their developmental stage they are at. Children at the age between 5 and 7, they learn best through play and other enjoyable activities. They use senses to learn about the world. They have exciting imaginations. They can talk and participate a lot if they are engaged. They can tell you what they are doing and what they have done. By the age of 10, they are quite mature and they ask a lot of questions. They have strong sense of what is right and fair. They can make some decisions about their learning and they try to make sense of the adult world around them. So there is a clear difference between these young learners, age from 5 to 7 and from 8 to 11. Children aged 5 to 7, they do not take responsibility for their own learning. So they will learn best if they are engaged into a game. So they do not, they do this unconsciously, while children from the age of 8 to 11, they can take responsibility for their own learning. They will be happy to perform the activities in the classroom. They will be happy to work as a group of 4 or 5. So they are good at doing activities in groups and teams. How far do you agree with that? Can you write your answer in the question box? Do you agree with these characteristics or not? We need to understand this difference to teach our students in the classroom. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to answer my question. All right, so that brings me to my next point. And what is topic-based teaching? Can you give me the definition, please? Write your answer in the question box. What do you think is topic-based teaching? Before I give you the definition, of course. All right, I'm going to repeat my question. What is topic-based teaching? Can you write a few words? What do you think it is? All right, thank you. Activities are connected with the certain topic. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. Right. So topic-based teaching is a form of soft skill where language and topic are taught alongside each other. So this is what we call topic-based teaching. And there are some advantages of using topic-based learning approach in the classroom. There are many benefits of it. So first, it's easier to relate the lesson to the experiences and interests of the pupils. Second, students can associate words, functions, structures, and situations with certain topic, while we know association can help both understanding and memory. Teachers can adjust their materials, so you can give a personal or local touch to the materials depending on the particular class and at the particular time. And it will also bring learners and their needs more into focus. And fifth, the amount of time that teachers spend can be as long as they like, depend on how much time is available and how much material they have. I believe learner motivation increases when students are learning about something rather than just studying language. And topic-based teaching is particularly appealing in this respect because teachers can use almost any content materials that they feel their students will enjoy. When we organize lessons around the topic, we need to think about what activities, language skills, and language learning we want the students to practice. We need to see how we can fit all these elements into the topic of the lesson. We need to think about how to make it personal for young learners. In Smart Junior 3 for Ukraine, there are lots of topic-related activities which are interesting and relevant to students' lives. Sometimes we choose a topic to introduce the students to the wider world by giving them some intercultural understanding where this is appropriate. There is a sample page from our book Smart Junior 3 for Ukraine where students are going to learn about different time zones in the world. Ask and answer questions about the time and use time expressions. This is sample page from our book Smart Junior 3 for Ukraine, where students are learning about information about signs and how to give and follow orders. What can we do with our students and how can we deliver this clear lesson to them? So first, let your students look at the presentation and ask them what the text is about. Is it a school trip to the museum? What do this information signs mean? After that, point to each picture and encourage students to identify the place the children and teacher are. So the teacher and the students, they are at the museum. Then play the CD and encourage students to shadow read. Explain that they will have to point to the sign and say what information they depict. Let students compare their answers in pairs first and then as a whole class check. Now let's have a look at the signs at the bottom of the page. What do they mean? What do they represent? Can you write the answers in the question box? What do the signs mean at the bottom of the page? What does these signs mean? At the bottom of the page, can you see them? Unit 3, Our World, signs. No talking on the phone. Right. Thank you, Halina. What we are allowed or not allowed to do? Yes, exactly. So these are the rules to follow, but do we know what do these signs represent? Don't eat, yes. Let's do it quickly. You can eat here, drop litter in the bin, yes. Don't take photos. Thank you. So explain to students that they will listen to similar rules and they will have to point to the correct sign in order they hear each rule. Play the CD, pausing after each sentence so that students have enough time to point to the correct sign. Play the CD again so that students can check their answers and have students compare their answers in pairs first and then check as a whole class. Our world lessons, they focus on social studies mainly, and our students are going to learn about jobs, so people at work. Each lesson finishes with productive tasks. So at the end of the lesson, our students will have to do a speaking task. So they're going to use all the knowledge that they have and what they have learned during the lesson at the end of the lesson. So there is a productive task at the end of the lesson. All right. So again, this is the sample page from our book, Smart Juniors 3 for Ukraine, Smart Time. Again, we focus on social studies. And what do our students, what are they going to learn from this page? Can you write your answers in the question box? Can you see the page well? What are they going to learn? I'm waiting for your answers. Yes, thank you, Ludmila. They are going to learn about values, how to help animals. Yes, the text is about how to help animals and to help others. Thank you. So the aim of this lesson is to provide students with cross-curricular information on social studies. Ask students questions and help them understand the meaning of volunteering. For example, is it important to help other people? Play the CD and let your students shadow read along with the CD. Play the CD once again. This time, ask students to point to the pictures that show each organization. Ask students questions. What do people in in friends of animals do? They help animals find food, water, and a place for them to sleep. What do people in Big Brothers, Big Sisters do? They help children. What do the children do with their brother or their sister? They go to the cinema and to playgrounds. They play in parks, and the brother or sister helps them with their homework. Ask students if they are volunteers in an organization. Choose a few students to read the text aloud. So there are many things what you can do with one particular task. You may ask them questions concerning the texts. Again, they're going to read the activity and choose and say. So our students are going to learn about volunteering organizations, and I'm not sure whether our students know any volunteering organizations in Ukraine. They may not name any, but still we want them to learn about volunteering. And variety is always welcomed in our lesson. And students can talk about dogs and cats by doing a class survey. So the first volunteering organization, they are helping animals. Again, you may suggest this activity, dogs and cats. Our students can count the number of cats and the number of dogs, and they may find out which are more popular. We can make a Venn diagram about the similarities and differences between cats and dogs. Talking about Venn diagram, this is especially useful for visual learners. And to help our students with this task, we have to teach them content obligatory language such as bark, purr, tail, paw, etc. And students can talk about eating and drinking habits of these animals. They can separate them into wolf and cat families. We can read stories about cats and dogs in a reading circle. So there are many ways how we can extend this particular activity and help our students learn more about the surrounding world. Again, this is the sample page from our book, Smart Genius 3 for Ukraine, where students are going to learn about underground stations in Kiev and London. Here we refer to English-speaking culture and to our students' own culture. We will ask students to look at the pictures and name means of transport that they already know. If they don't know what is funicular, we may show a picture of it and explain that funicular takes you from Old Kiev to Podil. If they do not know what is funicular, we may find a short video and show it in the classroom just to let them see how it works. It's okay if they don't know this type of transport. And you may explain that we have 3 lines in Kiev Underground and 52 stations, and compare these facts with London Underground. Students read the text about Kiev and London Underground and complete the follow-up activity. We often end topic-based lessons with some kind of plenary feedback to sum up what they have learned or studied. We can ask students what they have learned, what they want to draw and write about at the final task of the lesson. So the final task says that our students need to draw and write one type of transport. So again, this is the productive task. They have to write about it. In successful topic-based lessons, we should encourage students to think about the content they are learning and about learning in general. Students come to the classroom with some background knowledge. Our task is to find out what they already know. We may use warmers and icebreakers to activate our students' prior knowledge and engage students with the topic. And whole class setting in which we sum up what has been learned and studied is obligatory. So there should be a productive task at the end of topic-based lesson. What are the outcomes of topic-based lessons? We need to consider the learning outcomes of any lessons we are teaching. And we want to know what our students will know or be able to do at the end of the lesson than they knew or were able to do at the beginning. We should also take into consideration that something may fail or go not according to the lesson plan. We need to respond to events in the lesson as they happen, and as a result, we may have to adapt our plan because of unforeseen problems or magic moments. Talking about magic moments sometimes happen at the lesson when our students express themselves in speaking activities. And when we plan topic-based lessons, the lesson should be focused on 4 C's. What are they? Can you write in the question box, what are they? What do we mean by saying 4 C's? Welcome, Marina, to our webinar. You're not so late. You missed half of the webinar, but still, thank you for joining us. My question to you is, what are the 4 C's when we're talking about topic-based lessons? Communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking. Good. Any other? Cooperation, communication, cooperation. Thank you, Zorana. Creativity, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. Anything else that we may talk about? 4 C's in topic-based teaching. I'm waiting for your answers. Can I give you a hint? When we talk about topic-based lessons, we focus on content first. So the first C is content. Then goes communication. The third C is, cultural, culture studies. Thank you, Olha. And yeah, critical thinking or cognition. So the lesson should be focused on 4 C's: content, the subject of the lesson; communication, using language effectively; cognition, when we're talking about thinking skills; and culture, understanding our own culture and its relationship to other cultures. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to answer my question. So these are the 4 C's of topic-based lessons. Now let's have a quick look at the framework of topic-based lesson. So when we deliver topic-based lesson, we need to think about the content first. What is the subject topic of the lesson? Like the aim of the previous lesson was to focus on social studies. So decide the topic of the lesson first. Then, what are our aims of the lesson? What are the learning outcomes? Talking about aims, what our students will learn from our lesson, what they will be able to do, and yes, and what language they will use. So these are the the 3 aims of the topic-based lesson. We need to assess our students' knowledge and skills at topic-based lessons too. We will talk about it soon. Again, we need to think about what vocabulary, grammar, and functions we're going to teach them at this topic-based lesson. So we're not going to expand on the topic, but we also need to teach them some vocabulary, some grammar, and focus on functions that we want them to use. Cultural elements. So what our students are going to learn about culture or cultural differences between Ukraine and United Kingdom or any other English-speaking country. So they need to understand our own culture and its relationship to other cultures. So here we may talk about cultural identities too. And how are our students going to work in pairs or in small groups, or are they going to work individually? Again, we need to decide and take all these things into consideration before we give topic-based lesson. And do you know the secret of any topic-based lesson? Can you write your answers in the question box? What is the secret of any topic-based lesson? Can you write your answers in the question box? Yes, I can repeat my question. What is the key secret of any topic-based lesson? The aims of the lesson, effective exercises for reaching your goals. Thank you, Svetlana. It's not an easy question, but still. Interest. What do you mean by interest, Marina? Appropriate materials. Thank you, Tatiana. Experiences and interests. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for answering my question. So in topic-based lesson, teachers should stress social interaction in the classroom. And students should collaborate with each other. They should work in groups and pairs to solve problems. And in topic-based lessons, students are asked to use metacognitive skills. In other words, to think about how they learn and to think creatively. So this is the key secret of any topic-based lesson. So communication is the most important. Communication between children is the most important. Thank you. And I'd like to share with you this information I found. How are topic-based lessons offered around the world? So I think you will find this information interesting to know. And topic-based lessons are used in many different contexts at schools around the world. Many people talk about soft and hard clue. Can you see the difference between soft and hard clue? Can you write your answers in the question box? What is the difference between soft and hard clue? I'm waiting for your answers. We have question box where you may write your answer. What is the difference between soft and hard clue? Soft socializing, hard knowledge. Thank you, Ludmila. Hard is more subject oriented. Thank you, Olena. Hard clue is more specific. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, my dear teachers, for taking your time to answer my question. Yes, so soft clue is when some language learning is organized with strong subject content. When teachers deliver whole areas of the curriculum in the second language, especially when language and content are both taught at the same time, this is called hard clue. And some schools offer short, let's say 15-hour clue courses. There are schools which run clue courses throughout a whole semester or year, and some clue courses are taught by a subject teacher who speaks English well, or by an English teacher who can manage the clue content. In some schools, students study content in L1 and then again in English. And for the most part, subject teachers and English teachers work together so that language lessons relate to subject lesson language. I hope this information is interesting to know. So here, I'd like to remind you that you may receive Smart Junior 3 for Ukraine from the government for free if you vote for this book. Please visit IMZO website to get familiar with the book. There are 24 pages of this book, so you can browse through the pages and make your decision. And we offer additional components for Smart Junior 3 for Ukraine. We have a special price for workbook. Workbook goes with student's CD-ROM. we have a set of books, primary readers, level 2, and we offer you smart dictionaries free. This dictionary was created by the Linguist publishing house. It contains all the vocabulary from Smart Genius 3. It goes with the translation into Ukrainian, and there are lots of additional exercises there. So if you really want to receive Smart Genius 3 from the government, please make your choice and vote for Smart Genius 3. And we are happy to remind you about MM Publications contest for high school students. The aim of the contest is to develop students' abilities and creative thinking, to support the skills of applying knowledge in practice, as well as better preparation towards university entrance. Students are required to write cover letter in English of about 220 words. We kindly ask teachers to register first, and after that submit students' cover letters by the 27th of April 2020. The winners will get valuable prizes from MM Publications. The first place will get a projector, the second place will get computer speakers, and the third place will be given the certificate to buy English books in our book chain, Booklink. We will select 30 best works. Teachers and students will get a set of books for ZNO preparation. The results will be announced on our Facebook page, MM Publications Ukraine, on the 30th of April 2020. Please visit our Facebook page, MM Publications Ukraine, to find out more about this contest. Please visit our updated Ukrainian website, mmpublications.com.ua, where you can find out information about our publishing house. We usually make announcements of our seminars and webinars. We post articles for teachers there, and there is up-to-date catalog. You may browse through some sample pages of our books. We understand that teachers are particularly interested in professional development and growth. So the Linguist Training Center offers you Teaching Teens program, which consists of 5 modules, each of 6 hours. We also have Teaching Kids program, so you may choose any. If you are interested in visiting our teacher training sessions, we also run online webinars for teachers. Please contact Svetlana Drabotenko. She's our academic director. Here you can see her contact details. Svetlana Drabotenko is a highly qualified English teacher. She has extensive teaching experience, and she's CELTA qualified. She works at British Council, and she's very knowledgeable. So please contact her if you're interested, and we will be happy to see you at our training center in Kiev. Svetlana travels a lot around Ukraine, so please follow the news. If you are interested in buying MM Publications books, please contact the Linguist company. Here you can see our contact details. Visit our office if you are originally from Kiev. If you are not, please contact the Linguist company. We will be happy to help you and sell you these books. We also have sales managers and representatives in Lviv, Odessa, Dnipro, and Kharkiv. So if you are interested in buying our books, please contact them as well. And please let me hear from you anytime. I will be happy to receive your emails with suggestions, recommendations, and requests. I'm at your service, so please write to me or call me. I'll be happy to hear from you. And please let me know what topics are interesting for you to hear from me. Thank you, my dear teachers, for being with me today. Thank you for taking your time but thank you for your participation in this webinar. I hope it was useful for you and you will use my ideas in your classroom and you have clear understanding of topic-based lessons, the outcomes and the demands of the topic-based lessons. Again, I'd like to greet you with the coming holiday, the 8th of March. So be the happiest women in the world. I wish you happiness, health, success, and prosperity in the years ahead. Have a magnificent evening and have great weekends. So Monday is going to be a weekend too. So enjoy your weekends and enjoy your Monday. And take time to relax and rejuvenate. So thank you. Thank you, my dear teachers.